So in tonight's video, I'm going to be breaking down the micro price action for you, explaining where we are currently at in terms of the market, giving you the best possible levels to be trading at. I'm going to walk you through the overall price action. Let's get straight into analysis. So in terms of the SPY, this is what I want you to be aware of. We had previous support at 548. When 548 reacted as a support level, we quickly went to 554. So if 548 reacts as a support level, the SPY is going to explode up to fill this gap that is waiting to fill above. There is a gap that is waiting to fill above at 553.88. That is going to be your best level possible to buy put options. So if you see it break above 548, it reacts as support, you can ride it up to fill the gap. Once we get to 548, you can try to buy put options. Make sure you're using the 30-minute confirmations. In terms of how the market has been reacting recently, it has been cracking 548, selling off all the way down to 537.74. And then you could see for 3 days in a row, we have formed major resistance at this 547, and then in terms of the pre-market today, 548. So the SPY has cracked this key support at 548. The SPY has sold off to 537. The SPY has spiked back up, turning that previous support level into a resistance, into a resistance, into a resistance. You should have been buying put options when you are seeing these red bearish 30-minute confirmations or trend reversal 30-minute confirmations at that level, because it's such a significant level where the bulls got trapped once it sold off and cracked 10 fucking points, man. So in terms of where we're at right now, it's reacting as a resistance, and you can see we're kind of in the middle. So there's a gap that's waiting to fill at 554. There's a gap that's waiting to fill at 538.40. And now we have this gap that's going to be in the middle. This is your make or break level. Your make or break level is going to be at 544.76. That is going to be your make or break. If that reacts as support, we're going to explode up to 548, and then I gave you the next level above that, 554. If that reacts as a resistance, we are going to sell off to the next support level. So if you are seeing 544 to 544.76, 545 reacting as a resistance, we are selling off to the next support level, July 26th, low of day, 541.50. Then, if we go under 541.50, that's going to be a gap breakdown. If we crack below that level, react as a resistance level, we're going to sell off, and then we're going to start to fill the gap below. So, in terms of where we are, you can see this key critical support level was cracked. We had a 10-point drop, spiked back up, reacted as a resistance, red bearish 30-minute confirmation to buy puts. That's where the bulls got trapped for 10 points. Obviously, buy puts when you see that rejection, right? Especially the first time it tests that level after it drops and sells off 10 fucking points, right? So it's been reacting as a resistance for several fucking days. It is trying to fill the gap that is waiting to fill below at 538 first. Now, what can change that is if we do break above 545, we do break above 548, and then it fills the gap at 554. But right now, it is formed resistance for 3 days straight. 3 days straight for resistance. It is trying its best. The SPY is trying its best to fill the gap below. So the four levels, I would say these are going to be your overall best levels that you need to focus on. 545, the make or break middle gap level. That is going to help determine which gap is going to fill first. In terms of where we are right now, we're more on the bearish side because there was many bull traps for 3 days in a row at 548. It keeps on trying to sell off, and it's trying to fill this gap that's waiting to fill below. So 545 is your make or break level in terms of tomorrow. That is going to be crucial, which will determine on where we are truly heading. Like I said, you see it react as a resistance. We're going to 541.60. It's going to try to bounce first at 541.60. We go under 541.60. We fill the gap. Now, the SPY has been consistently reversing at these gaps, especially the oversold gaps from the long side. It wasn't too long ago. We were at 537. It shot up 10 points twice already from that level. And there is a gap that is waiting to fill below at 538.50. So in between this zone of 537 and 538.50, if you are seeing 30-minute bullish confirmations, 30-minute trend reversal confirmations, you are going to want to buy call options. Ride it back up to 543 plus, right? So I'm very interested in buying call options in between that zone of 537 to 538.50. I'm well aware the make or break middle level that's going to help determine the gaps, which one's going to fill first, is going to be 545. 545 reacts as a resistance. 541, that breaks down, reacts as a resistance. 538. 545 breaks out, reacts as support. 548 breaks out, reacts as support. 554. So in terms of our true best levels that we should all be focusing on, 554 put options. 545 make or break. What we know is 548 is a 10-point drop. It's been reacting as a resistance for 3 fucking days now, and there's a gap that's waiting to fill below. So if we're seeing resistance towards that 545, 544 zone, we're going to be looking to buy put options. Write it down to 541.70. 541.70 is a make or break support level that's close to the gap. Not too interested in it. If we crack, it's going to drop to 538, 537. That's where I want calls. That's our overall levels. The true best levels that I'm planning to trade at are going to be 554, 545, and 538.50 to 537. So those 3 levels are going to be the gaps. The one in the middle is the make or break gap. And you have to understand that the SPY has really been trying to react as a resistance and fill this gap. So it is going to try to push for that 541.70 bare minimum. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on. That's the overall price ladder. One thing I do want to mention in terms of the macro, I am keeping an eye on swing trading calls. I'm keeping a very close eye on swing trading calls. This is going to be more of a midterm trade idea. I'm waiting to see how we close out the month right here. But basically, in terms of how the monthly candlestick is closing on the SPY, this overall candlestick, when it closes red like this, and you can use this type of candlestick on any time frame. I've had very successful trades using it on the daily chart. I've had very successful trades using it on the 1-minute chart. It's this red candle that looks like this. You can see SPY had this green, red, green bullish pattern forming support above this previous month. And now it's forming support above this previous 3 months resistance, which is bullish. And it's still holding above the previous month's overall price here, which is bullish. It keeps forming higher support. It keeps pushing for higher all-time highs. This overall candlestick, the way it looks, I have to wait till it officially closes, but the way this looks, it is supposed to explode up within the next month to retest all-time highs, and it's not supposed to dip much lower. So I would say, again, it's not 100% confirmed yet. We have to wait for the month to close out, but what I would say is that is truly going to be an amazing opportunity to watch to buy call options towards this 537, 538.50. Going to be keeping an eye on 541 as well. So that's my overall breakdown analysis on the SPY. For those of you who are interested in trading with us, it is going to be the first link down below in the description if you want to gain access to my secure private organization where you gain access to all of our real-time trade alerts on zero-date options. We have the highest win rate in the game trading zero-date options, and we are buying far out of the money option contracts, and we are selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains within the market. If you do want to trade with us, it is the first link down below within the description. Every single trade in the morning inside of Team Roar has been a win. Every single trade, man. We had another phenomenal win in the morning inside of Team Roar, man. So if you do want to join us, if you do want to come print with us, it's going to be the first link down below within the description.